Hi, so today we're going to be reviewing our solving equations. This is going to be all types of problems. Okay? So we have 3 questions that are going to be one-step equations, 2 that are solving and 1 that is a word problem. So let's look. So our first step here, I have x minus 8 equals 23. So what is my first step? Yes, add 8. So I'm going to add 8 to both sides. So if I was going to write Roman numeral 1 and write this problem, and then I'm going to add 8 to both sides. So I have x equals 31. Okay, so then this next one here, these are one step, so I'm only doing one thing. So I have x over 4, and this is negative, equals 8. Well, I am dividing by 4. What is the opposite of division? Multiplying. And I need to multiply by negative 40 instead of the negative. So I'm going to multiply both sides by negative 4. Well, my negative and 4 cancel out over here, leaving me with x equals, and then what is 8 times negative 4? Negative 32. Right, apples cost $1.94 per pound. How many pounds were purchased for $6.79? So we are looking for x. It's going to be pounds. So anywhere that it says pounds, we're going to put an x. So that's going to be $1.49 per pound equals 6.79. And I'm going to just divide by $1.94. So x is going to equal $3.50, 3.5 pounds. That was our first slide, our one-step equation. So there are going to be 3 questions that are just simply one step. So all you have to do is one step in order to solve them. Then we are going to have 6 questions that are multi-step. So that means that you're going to do more than one step in order to solve them. So our steps for solving are first to distribute, then to eliminate fractions, then to combine like terms. This does not include isolating the variable, but that's what we're doing next. Then it is to add or subtract the constant to the other side and multiply or divide the variable by itself. So in this first one, I'm going to add 8 to both sides. So I'm going to have 5x equals 20. Then I'm going to divide to get the variable by itself. So I'm going to divide by 5. So x is going to equal 4. Okay, what is my first step? Distribute. So I'm going to distribute my 3 and my negative. So I'm going to have 3 times 1, which is 3. 3 times negative x, which is negative 3x. X times negative, which is negative x. And x times 3, which is negative 3. Equals 0, or equals 8. Then we are going to combine like terms. So I have negative 3x minus x, which will be negative 4x. 3 minus 3, which is 0. Those cancel out. So then I'm going to just divide to get the variable by itself. So I'm going to divide by negative 4. So x will equal negative 2. So right there we have 9 problems, okay, that are either one step or multi-step. So that is almost half, less than half the test. Okay? That is just solving problems. then these are continuing multi-step. It's a word problem. So I have this word problem here. I have you spent $153.70 for car repairs. This includes $53.70 for parts and $25 per hour for labor. How many hours of labor were billed? Okay, so first I need to figure out what I'm looking for. So X is going to be hours. So any time that says X or per X or per hour, I'm going to put an X. So we have 25 per hour, so it's going to be X, plus $53.70 equals 153. So I'm just going to subtract 53.7 from both sides. So we get 25x equals 100. I'm going to divide by 25. So our x will equal 4. This is still on our second multi-step equations. I have to have extra room, so I made slides. That's the first question on the second. I'm going to do the second question in just a second. All right, our second question says that our rectangle has a length of 8 feet more than the width. If the perimeter is 216, what are the dimensions of the rectangle? So, first off, how do I find the perimeter? I have 2 times the width plus 2 times the length will equal my perimeter. And then we have to determine what we are looking for. For in this case, I'm looking for my width and my length. Do I know anything about my width? No. So it's going to be the single variable x. Do I know anything about my length? Yes. It is 8 more than my width. So it's going to be x plus 8. So then that is how I get this equation down here where I have 2x, so it's 2w, plus 2 length, 2 times x plus 8, equals my perimeter, 216. Then our first step is to distribute, so I'm going to distribute that too. So I'm at 2x plus 2x plus 16 equals 216. Okay? Then I'm going to combine like terms. So 2x plus 2x is 4x. So I have 4x plus 16 equals 216. Then I'm going to subtract 16 from both sides. So I'm going to get 4x equals 200. Then I'm going to divide by 4. So x equals 50. Am I done? No, I'm looking for the length and the width. So my width is 50 and my length is 58. So you need to give me both answers, 50 and 58. If you do not give me both answers, you're going to lose points. And you need to tell me which one is which. The width is 50 and the length is 58. Alright, then we are going to have 4 questions that have variables on both sides. So again, we're at 13 questions. So that's more than halfway through, and all that we are doing so far is just solving equations. Nothing different than normal solving. So this time, because the variables on both sides, this means that we are going to have to isolate our variable, add that extra step in. Okay, so let's look. So I have this first question here. I have 6x minus 3 equals 4x plus 5. So our first step would normally be to distribute, then eliminate fractions, and then combine like terms. I do not have any of those steps. So my following step is to isolate the variable. That means to get the variable by itself. So I'm going to subtract 4x from both sides. So that's going to be 2x minus 3 equals 5. Then I'm going to add my constant to the other side. So it's going to give me 2x equals 8. Then I'm going to divide by 2 to get the variable by itself. So x is going to equal 4. I don't know. That can be nice and dark. Okay, I can't draw a flower. That didn't work out. That looks awful. I can draw little raindrops. And a rainbow. Okay. Okay, so then we will have word problems. So when you have a word problem and there's a variable on both sides, you have one sentence that represents one side of your equation, then another sentence that represents the other side of your equations. And you're traditionally going to set them equal to each other, and you're most likely, if you get a non-whole number, you're going to round up. Okay? So in this case, we're going to have 45 plus 7 cents, that's going to be 0.07x, equals 25 plus 13 cents, which would be 0.13x. And we're going to solve them and figure out how many minutes I need to make plan A better. So I'm going to subtract 0.07x from both sides. So I'm going to get 45 equals 25 plus 0.06x. Then I'm going to subtract 25 from both sides. So I'm going to get 20 equals 0.06x. Then I'm going to divide by 0.06. So my x is going to equal 333.3, repeating, but we need to round up. So that's going to be 334 minutes. So remember that these type of problems, you need to have whole numbers. So if we were talking about ice cream scoops, and we were trying to figure out how many ice cream scoops company A needs to sell to be better than company B, then we need to round up to 334 ice cream scoops. And it say 333.3333. Does that make sense? Also, if it came to like tires, that would be a good example, or people. So these problems we need to round to the nearest whole number. Okay? And you round up. It's making it better than the other one. Okay? Can I erase? All right. So we're going to have 3 questions on proportions. So the only kind of different when it comes to proportions is what? What are we doing distributing first? Have to cross multiply. So when it comes to proportions, we're going to have 3 ones that are cross multiplying. So we are at 13, so this makes it 16. So if you get all of these questions right, 16 out of 25, or I'm sorry, 9, you already had 64%, okay? That's no problems. Okay, so here I'm going to cross multiply. So I just made mine over here. So let's do that here. So I'm going to take my 15 and I'm going to multiply it by everything. That's going to be 15 times x minus 1 equals 12 times 8. What's 12 times 8? 76. Then what do I need to do? First with the D. Distribute. So I'm going to get 15x minus 15 15 equals 96. Then I'm going to add or subtract my constant to the other side. So I'm going to add 15 to both sides. And I'm going to get 15x equals 111. And I'm going to divide by 15. Well, that does not give me a whole number, but x will equal 111 over 15, which can reduce to 37 over 5. This 3 goes into both. Then we have one that's on similar. Anytime it says similar, you're going to be making a proportion. Okay, and it says that rectangle 1 has a length of 12 meters and a width of 8. So I'm going to make one proportion, which is 12 over 8, and set it equal to our other proportion, which I'm going to have a width of 6. So that needs to go with my width, which is 8, and I don't know my length, which is x. So we're just going to cross multiply. So x times 8 would be 8x. 12 times 6 is 72. Then I'm just going to divide by 8 to get the variable by itself. So x equals 9. And it's meters. So when it comes to proportions, all that the only thing you're adding on to it is cross multiplying first. Literal equations. We're going to have 3 literal equation problems. 2 that you're solving and 1 that's a word problem. When it comes to the word problem, you're going to solve for the variable and then we're just going to substitute numbers in. Just like we did on the homework for those ones. So we do have 2 problems here. So I'm solving for R for the first one. So currently I have a P and a T that are getting multiplied by R. So what is the opposite of multiplication? Division. So I'm going to divide by P and T. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other side. So my P and T cancel out over here, and I'm left with R by itself equals our L over PT. That L down. Okay, then this next one here, we're solving for A, but I still need to distribute first. I'm going to have S equals 3A plus 3B. Okay, the 3B is kind of like a constant, okay? It is the number that is being added or subtracted to our variable that we're looking for. So I'm going to subtract 3B from both sides. But because S and 3B are not like terms, we cannot combine them. A is still not by itself, so I need to divide to get the variable by itself. So I'm going to divide by 3. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the full other side. But instead of just dividing the whole thing by 3, because I know that I might have things that cancel out, I'm going to divide each term by 3, because everything needs to be divided by 3. It's kind of like distributing in that way. So there my 3's cancel, and here. So I'm just left with A equals S over 3 minus B. That's all that I'm left with. There's only 3 questions on literal equations. Okay. Alright, and then we are going to have 3 questions on rational equations. And we need to make sure that we're checking for extraneous solutions. So our first rational equation here, I need to, it's not just 2 fractions, so I need to find my least common denominator. So in this case, we have 4 and 3. So what would be my least common denominator? 12. So I'm going to multiply everything by 12. So 12 times x over 4, 12 times x over 3, and 12 times 2. I would not skip the step of writing it all out. Right? Use a negative or something. Our 12 and 4 reduces to 3. So 3 times x is 3x. Our 12 and 3 reduces to 4. So 4 times x is 4x. Do not use that negative there. And then our 12 times 2 is 24. So then I'm going to combine my terms. I'm going to get negative 1x equals 24. Then I'm going to divide by negative 1. So x equals negative 24. Okay, for this next one here, I have 2 ratios, and the set equal to 0. In order for me to solve this one, I need to move 1 over to the other side so I can create proportions. So I'm going to add 4 over x plus 3 to both sides. So these cancel out, and I'm just left with 2 over x minus 1 equals 4 over x plus 3. Then I can just cross multiply. Okay, so I'm going to take my 4 here and I'm going to multiply it by everything. So that's going to be 4 times x minus 1. And take my 2 and multiply it by everything. That's going to be 2 times x plus 3. Okay, then I'm going to distribute. So I'm going to get 4x minus 4 equals 2x plus 6. Then I'm going to isolate my variable by subtracting 2x from both sides. So I'm going to get 2x minus 4 equals 6. I'm going to add 4 to both sides. So 2x equals 10. Divide by 2. So x equals 5. Yes. Yeah, always. There is going to be lines like this on your test. Every single one of the problems that we do in here, there is a possibility that this is on your test. And this is a really good example of a way of doing radical equations where you have to move 1 over. So you need to make sure that you know how to do that one. Even if you write it down though. You can't use your phone on the test. No, it's not your phone. Okay. Can I erase? If I need to wait, I can wait. Yes? Right. Because we still plenty of time and I only really have 1 more slide left. Because the rest is just additional practice that you can do. The big part here is this part here where we have to add the term to the other side. Okay, so make sure you keep that in mind. That's the part that you guys will create a proportion with, and then that's just normal proportion problem. Okay. Are we good on your ratio now? All right. And then our last set of questions, we're going to have 3 that are on radical equations. So that means that we're going to have a square root. So the main thing here is that you need to get your square root on one side of the equation by itself, not just the x. And then you are going to square both sides to cancel out the square root, and then solve. So let's do these two. So the first one here, my square root is already by itself, so I'm going to square both sides. So my square and my square root cancel out, and I'm left with x minus 2 equals, 7 squared is 49. And I'm just going to add 2 to both sides, and I get x equals 51. Okay, is my square root or radical by itself? No, there's an 18 added to it. The opposite of addition is subtraction. So I'm going to get the square root of x plus 3 by itself, minus, or negative 4 is on my other side. So whenever you have a square root equaling a negative number, it is no solution. So there are going to be 25 questions on the test. There will be 4 questions that you are allowed to pick, or 5, I'm sorry, questions that you are allowed to pick. That I pick, not that you get to pick. 5 questions that I select. Okay? Then you need to, there are going to be 5 challenge questions. Those are 100% optional. You do not have to do any, but you can do as many as you want, all 5, or 2, or 1, or 3, and it just replaces any one that you got incorrect on the test. Okay? You have a practice test, as well as there are 4 your turns that you can do on here that are already worked out that you can sit there and do them as well to make sure that you get the correct answer. So yeah, that is, yes.